What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. So here I'm just going to speed up the opening part because it's just Eris talking. So this is a solo flawless run of the Duality dungeon on a Solar Titan. I'm using Solar with Synthoceps. Synthos were nerfed. Some aspects to how the build worked before have been nerfed, but it is still very strong, as I'll get to throughout the dungeon. But for this opening part, I recommend an Eager Edge Sword, and then just, just use whatever you're comfortable with. I use Strafe Jump on a Titan, and then, yeah, you can just kind of skate along. I have a sniper on for shooting the bells. It's really nice, and it's also good on, like, these Scions if you wanted. And then there is one little part where it's kind of like a shortcut, but I use it so much that I can't even remember the normal way. So just go whatever way you're comfortable with, but this is how I do this opening part. So Duality and Ghost of the Deep, in my opinion, are the two hardest dungeons to solo flawless. So that is why I like Solar Titan. So right here, I can't remember if this is the normal way, but yeah, when you go to this red zone, you can drop down there and then just jump over here. Like I said, I can't remember if that's the actual normal way. I think it's not. But yeah. So anyway, there's mechanics and lots of enemies in Duality and Ghost of the Deep that can kill you. So the mechanics in this one are pretty unforgiving. Like, you can kill the wrong Scion in boss room and it will deplete your timer, and then you're kind of SOL and you'll die. And then, like Ghost of the Deep, you can dunk the wrong symbol, and yeah, there's just ways in those ones to die. And in my opinion, this build is still the best for just flat out survivability. And a lot of people say like Strand Titan would be better, and yes, if you're a highly skilled player, and honestly no for the final boss, but Gahlran, Strand Titan, you could one phase. There's enemies around to get what's it called? Worm God's Caress going. But yeah, I highly recommend Solar Titan. Solar in general, just this season, is by far the best because of Revitalizing Blast. It's a 15% weaken to all the bosses. And then you've also got Solo Operative. So this is the season to do it. And then Solar has Radiant, which is super easy to get with Titan, which is why I really like to run Titan in this. So yeah, you got lots of damage buffs and debuffs going on. So anyway, I just want to talk about this. So you kill the standard bearer, and then you pick up the standard essence. So that was dogs or war beast. And then what you want to do, you take out those guys so that you can get your bell. Once those guys are dead, the bell opens up so you can get out. You got 50 seconds. So what you do here is you kill the standard bearer, and he dropped cup, but you don't pick it up. What this will do is allow you to extend your DPS phase when it comes time for DPS. Because we'll go back again, and then we'll kill a Scion. Or how does that work? Maybe we go back and we pick up Cup, but we don't kill the Scion, but then that Scion will be there on our way to DPS. And that's huge, because when you kill him, it adds like 15 seconds or something. Something pretty significant. We'll see when we get there. So yeah, you kill those guys. And now the bell's open. And now we go through here. And then we take out the Nightmares of Gahlran, or Visions of Gahlran, I should say. The Nightmare's the boss. And again, this is where Bonk Titan is so nice. Because you can see it just, boom, hammer, dead. So yes, you can't spam your Bonk like you used to be able to. And Synthoceps got a nerf from 3x damage to like 1.8, but it's still extremely good for getting those guys down quickly. So yeah, so now we go pick up Cup, but we're going to leave that Scion alive. So he's going to be there now when we come back, and when we kill him, that Nightmare Collapsing buff that's on our left, we actually get some time back. So that's a really good strat to use to extend your DPS phase. And it will honestly help you like get rid of a whole DPS phase, which in Duality is really important because, like I said, they've got somewhat unforgiving mechanics. Like, say you forget to kill those backpack guys, and then you don't have your bell up, and you run out of time, you're dead. So that's what makes Duality kind of tough as a dungeon to solo flawless. So now we're gonna go over here, And then we kill these visions of Gahlran. There. So we went from like 54 seconds to a minute 9. So again, it's like a 15 seconds just got added to our DPS. And then the quicker you can get these down, the more time you have for DPS. So I swapped to my damage loadout, which has triple solar surges, and I've got 3 armor charges and 2 time dilations. So I'm getting 54 seconds of damage. And unfortunately, this boss is a little asshole. So I lose my unstable essence, but ideally, I'd have cast my super while I have the unstable essence, because you do more damage while you have that. But he was standing in a really shitty spot, very far away from where I was, and sometimes it takes me a second to find him. And then there, I lose my hammer, which is really freaking annoying. Ugh, this game. You'll see me lose my hammer again later in this run. And that's a killer. But anyway, look how much damage we're doing here. And I didn't even get my super off with the buff. And then at about 10 seconds, that's when it's good to dip. Yes, you can get a little more damage, but you're probably not going to 1-phase this boss. You're probably going to 2-phase. But now I don't have a hammer, so that's a bit of an issue. It's not the end of the world, but it's just going to slow things down a little bit. But yeah, so Lament's really nice because you can see I still have 15 ammo in it. And that guy, I think, just dropped a brick. I should have grabbed it, but I must not have noticed it. But yeah, so Lament's really good because it heals you as you deal damage, and there's those Scion snipers that shoot at you while you deal damage. So I strongly recommend Lament in this dungeon. There's other strats that you can use, but I talk about this in my Ghost of the Deep run, but there's optimal DPS, but then you also have to factor in ease of use and safety when it comes to DPS. So there's strategies that are no doubt gonna deal more damage, but they are either hard to get the combos off or whatever, or they're unsafe. Where Lament is probably the safest thing you can use, as long as it's a boss that you're able to hit with a sword, because it heals you as you deal damage. And that's especially important on Caiatl because of how that boss room is designed, and I'll get to that when we're there. God, the flinch. This game is just annoying sometimes, man. So anyway, there we've got our thing. We're going to leave that guy up. No, actually we kill him. So we picked up Axe, not Cup. And yeah, this is really just like rinse repeating. You do one side, then you do the other. So yeah, I kill him. I make the sun, but we don't pick it up. So again, that's going to extend DPS. And it doesn't matter so much for this second phase because you can see he's probably got like 30, 35% health. So we don't need an extended damage phase for this one. But it's still nice to have, right? Like, why not? Just in case things go weird. So we take out the Bell Keepers, and then we take out that big guy. Then we take out the Nightmares. Sorry, I'm just speeding this up because we went through it all the first time. Take out those Bell Keepers immediately so that you can get away. Now we're going to pick up Sun, and we're going to leave that Scion that was there. Again, that's to extend our DPS. And again, you can see we have tons and tons of time here. 20 seconds. So, like with this strat, it's very safe. And like for time. Bonk Titan is just like still the king of just like fast ad clear. So we dunk our standard, we take that guy out. Now we're going to go on this side. And again, you want to get the Gahlrans down as quickly as possible. So we refreshed our Roaring Flames on that War Beast. Now we're taking these guys out as fast as possible. Sometimes they kind of stack up. And behind me, so see, I didn't have to run back there, but we went from 48 seconds to a minute and 2, where I could have just left him because on this phase it doesn't matter so much. Now I'm swapping a DPS, and straight up, my DPS should just include my Pyrogales. I don't know why. It's because I like to have Synthos on. So here, just in case like I need to get a hammer kill, but you can see like how much damage the Pyrogale one shot does. So we get a 2-phase with like 30 some seconds left. Very, very easy. This is so much, like, this is by far the easiest season to ever solo flawless Duality. I highly recommend doing it this season. And like I said, I really recommend Titan for it, just because of how safe it is. Like I said, you can just bonk everything to death, and that's great. So now we're heading to the jumping puzzle, and then we're going to get to Vault. Vault is another encounter that you actually have a risk of dying. So here's a little shortcut. You don't have to take this way, but you can jump on that little ledge, and then this saves a bunch of time. But as I always say with any solo flawless, just do what you're most comfortable with. Stick with the strats or whatever that you're most comfortable with. And if it's your first time like going for a solo of a dungeon like Duality, do some practice runs first. Because I can sit here and tell you all these things to like watch out for, but you learn best by doing, and you'll pick up on those things better when you actually do it and see it in action. But I'm just kind of giving little tips to make it go quicker. So yeah, I like that little skip on a Titan because it's easy to do. I still have my Lament, which is nice just for a little extra distance because there's this long jump coming up. So yeah, Duality is still one of the hardest ones to solo flawless because, like I said, the mechanics are unforgiving. Warlord's Ruin, like yes, the second boss has like that biting cold. And then there's the punchy guys on the final boss. See, even there, I was a little sketched on that jump. So there's things that can kill you in Warlord's Ruin, but like there's just mechanics that like don't kill you at all. Like the Burden of Riches can kill you in Grasp, but I find Duality to be one of the hardest ones. So here, we see how they're pointed, and then I think it's 3-3-2. So we activate this, 3 times, then you go left, and it's another 3 times, it's 3-2-2. So 3-2-2. So do that every time. I always start at the same statue, so I know where the heck I am. And then I think I might just leave the Solar Surge on for the whole time. I'm not sure. So Trespasser is super nice here with Anti-Barrier Sidearm. It's great for like mowing down enemies. Ariana's Vow is also very good for like mowing down enemies if you're on other characters. But on my Titan, I just rely on the Bonk Hammer. As you can see, boom, takes them out, no problem. So I always take out all 4 Bell Keepers off the start, and then I shoot from the bottom. That way I'm always oriented the same, because for whatever reason I get a little disoriented and like don't know where the heck I'm going. So see, with Radiant, I'm able to get anti-barrier. You can see my auto rifle has anti-barrier. So I'm running actually a Chrysura Mellow with Frenzy. Frenzy's probably my favorite perk in the game. It's free 15% damage and reload speed and handling. All things I love. And so yeah, I'm running one with Frenzy, and then when you have Radiant, you're dealing 25% more damage. So you can see how easily it like chunks through their shields. And also my sniper could get Radiant. Anti-barrier with Radiant. So now I've got 30 seconds. I was stacking up my Roaring Flames. And this is another thing, and I'm not showing like the best job of it, but because I shot the top bell, that means the Bell Keepers are going to spawn at the bottom, and the bell to get out is the bell at the top. And then when you shoot the bottom bell, it's the opposite. So the Bell Keepers will be at the top, and you get out at the bottom. So see, that bottom bell is there now. So when we take that one out, the Bell Keepers are going to be at the top of it. So you can, if you're very good, you can get both standards in one go, but I never go for that, and I wouldn't recommend that you do either. If you do, you don't really need my advice on how to solo flawless a dungeon, because you're good enough to do that, so that means you're pretty quick at getting through this and doing the mechanics. But yeah, this is just showing like a safe, effective way to do it. Flinch is insane. We take him out. So you can leave like one Legionary up, but I think you have to get all the phalanxes. So now we pick up our standard. We've got 40 seconds. So again, these Bell Keepers are going to be at the top. I'll just fast forward a little bit. So there they are. We come down. Bonk the one, melee the other. Now we're leaving from the bottom bell. Now I'm swapping just the Pyrogales for DPS. So yeah, I don't even worry too much about my swaps and like having armor charge, because it's just like a bonus. These aren't like your typical boss, they're more mini bosses. But Pyrogales, watch this, super nice for dealing big chunk damage. Then I swap back to Synthos in case I need to get a quick hammer kill. So 1 Pyrogale super and 1 Lament combo is enough to take out that mini boss if you have triple Solar Surge, which I did. So super, super good. Plus the Solar Surge is nice, again, because it synergizes with my auto rifle, which I'm using to take out those ads in the other realm, in the red realm. So then, again, we take out all the bell keepers, and then we rinse repeat. So I always start at the bottom, shooting the top bell. But you can also manipulate it if you want. If you know like where the symbols are, you can manipulate it so that the standard you're getting, so this standard was to like my back left, where sun is, and then you can set it up so that the bell keepers are down there. It's just a little optimization to save you just a bit of time, but I don't even bother with that because, to be honest, it's not till I'm these phalanxes. So yeah, back in the day that would have killed you, but they made it so physics damage can't kill you anymore. It just leaves you one shot. That's where restoration is obviously really nice, but yeah, you don't want to get in that situation because if I had taken any other damage there, I'm going to be dead. So you can see this time, the bell keepers are on the side that I just came from. So that was that slight optimization I was talking about. That was really dangerous what I did there, throwing my hammer. Probably shouldn't have done that because if I missed, it's gone. And that's kind of the whole engine to this build. So we dunked the first one, and now we're just going to rinse repeat, take out the bottom bell, and do it all again. So it's just 6 times of doing this. But like I said, with these strats, it's pretty easy. And then you could see how great Lament and your super is. So Lament is nice because it heals you as you deal damage. So it's very safe because there's a ton of ads when you go back to the other side of the vault. So it's really nice for that. So we have 26 seconds on our Nightmare Collapsing. And then once you pick up the standard, you get like 14 or 15 seconds there. So that's why you can have enough time. Like I could go for that second chalice, but it's very, very risky. The timing has to be really tight. Plus still got to kill the bell keepers. So yeah, I could rush over there, kill those ads. Like not in this case because I already dunked that chalice or that standard essence. But I'm just saying it's possible, but it's very tight. So on a solo flawless, don't even risk it. So now we go back, swap to our Pyrogales. And then with Pyrogales, you want to be right in the boss's face. If you cast it from a distance, it spreads out and you don't get like the big damage. So he boops me, so I'm going to try to get right in his face. Get a good cast off. I proc that. Didn't need to. And then yeah, like these bosses used to be somewhat tanky back when this dungeon released, whatever that is, like a year and a half ago. I think it was like May 2022. But now, like, yeah, power creep is a real thing, man. Power creep is crazy in the game these days. And yet Lament from Beyond Light is still one of the best heavy weapons in the game. So anyways, again, I go from the bottom and I shoot the top bell because that's just what I'm used to. Again, do what works best for you, and that's why you want to practice this run before attempting a solo flawless. Because you can work out what you like doing the best. One thing to be cognizant of, when it pulls you to this zone, if you're standing in the middle of the arena on the other side, the middle of this arena has a giant hole there. I have died to that when I was like new when this dungeon first came out. So see, right in the middle there's a big gaping hole. So if you're standing there on the other side and you transport, like you shoot the bell from the middle, you'll just fall to your death. So that's one tip I have for you. That's why, again, I always stand in the exact same spot. I shoot the bell, and then I go from there because I know how that room is oriented from leaving from the bottom. Again, I get disoriented easily in this game. I don't know why, like getting through Golgoroth maze and like just stuff like that. I will be honest, I suck at that. That's not my specialty. My buddy Pat, he freaking knows his way around everything. Like he's just really good at knowing where he's going. I'm good at build crafting. We just have different strengths and weaknesses. So yeah, this is the last one. And again, that's another way you can die. All these have those Colossus up top. So if you went to the wrong symbol and killed the wrong guy here, so I've got 30 seconds. If I were to kill the wrong guy there, I lose time. And then you're not going to get back to the bell. So this is what I mean when I say the mechanics in Duality are unforgiving, because you pick the wrong side one time and it's game over. So you have to be really, really focused and aware of what you're doing in Duality. So now we're just going to get the Bell Keepers. This is why I like running a sniper here, but just use whatever you like to get them down quickly. And then a sniper is also nice for blowing up their backpacks. That's important at Caiatl because those backpacks can take you out. So this guy flies, so he's a little harder to get the Pyrogale off on. So there, I actually refreshed my Roaring Flames before, because Roaring Flames is going to add damage to your super, right? So it was getting low, so I actually refreshed it before I dunked my thing. So now I'm getting right in his face, going to wait for him to land. Kaboom. Big hit, over half damage. I don't know why. I think I'm just doing it out of habit. So, Revitalizing Blast procs from the super, and I get Radiant when I cast my super from Heart of the Flame on the artifact. But normally you wouldn't get Radiant, so that's why I'm throwing my hammer there, just to proc Radiant, even though it's procking because I just cast my super. So again, that's more just a muscle memory thing on my part. So I had a ton of ammo on Lament, so I knew I could swap to an Eager Edge Sword just to get around quicker. But you don't have to do that. You can take your time. It's just, again, just small optimization things that I like to do. But yeah, I really love this auto rifle. Auto rifle's got a buff, and like I said, Frenzy's great. 360s feel really nice. I love this auto rifle for this dungeon, and just in general. I think I have 4th times on it too. I think it's like 4th times Frenzy. So yeah, even though it's got no origin perk because it's from back in the day, still a really good auto rifle that I like. So here, again, it's just a matter of learning the bells and knowing the order to shoot them and like where to go, which again, just comes with practice. Then here, this is a little risky because I get booped, but I have a sword on. But again, you can just take those guys out from afar if you want. I'm just doing this to speed things up. Oh, another thing that's nice about when you deal damage with your hammer is you actually get cure when you pick it up. And that will come into play on the Caiatl boss damage for sure, because you have scions shooting you. And you can take those scions out. But I don't. And yeah, anyway, you'll see what happens when we get there. So here I swap to a fusion rifle. Because fusions, if you kill the... so I'm changing my preset too. If you kill the, whatchamacallit, the guys with the backpacks, whatever they're called, with a fusion, I think it disintegrates the backpack. Or if you were to like shoot them with a sniper, that blows up the backpack. And that's important because the backpack's laying on the ground. See how it's on the ground? If Caiatl stomps that, and then there, I think it just disappeared. So if you get a crit, it's going to blow up. But if Caiatl stomps it in the boss room, it deals a ton of damage to you. And I have died lots of that. I think I died on one of my solo flawless attempts for this video, like this season. It was going smooth, but I didn't do backpack management, and it cost me. So here, again, you need to know the layout of the boss room. So that's what I was just checking there. I had a map up on my monitor beside me, just to make sure. I mean, I know the symbols are above, so you could like see the symbol above its head. So you can just look at that. But again, I just like to just have like a backup, right? So now I'm going to shoot the bell, head on over, and then we're going to take out this first scion. Pick up the essence. So there's 4 backpacks to kill. You don't have to kill those Colossus, but they are annoying. But you got to take out 4 Bell Keepers. And ideally you kill both scions in one go. Like I could go back and slam that standard, kind of like I was doing in Vault. But in this one, you typically have enough time. So I had 17 seconds, then I go up to 28 seconds when I kill it. So it's lots of time. We get over. But like I said, if you don't have a good ad clear thing on for like taking out those Bell Keepers and whatever else, then you could be in trouble. And that's where I just love Solar Titan, because it's just so great at quickly dispatching enemies. So see, I'm looking now, I got like 3 backpacks on the ground, including one right where I slammed. That's a little bit dangerous, and you can shoot them when they're on the ground, and maybe I do that later. But yeah, I highly recommend doing that, because all it takes is one to blow up right on top of you, and it's game over. So now I slam my things, and then we got to do it a second time. So much like Ghosts of the Deep, what I don't like about Duality is getting to boss damage phase. It's not as bad as Ghosts of the Deep, but it's still a slow-ass, boring slog. Like, Ghost is definitely worse, but I just don't like doing it. So there, I kill that guy with a hammer, and that guy with a hammer. So now I got backpacks on the ground. See, right by that dog? That's not good. I should be killing them with my fusion. I have 18 fusion rifle shots, and I'm just being lazy. If you want to be as careful as you can be on your solo flawless, don't do what I'm doing there. Kill them with your fusion rifle, or a sniper rifle, or crits from your auto rifle. I also used the heliocentric sidearm when I was on my hunter soloing this one, and that thing works really, really good too. I have one with Demo and Frenzy, which is an amazing roll, like a total god roll for me, because I also love Demo as a perk. And it's really nice because then you get more resto grenades on your hunter, so that comes in handy. Also, there's those bigger Centurions at this stage as well, when you're dunking your second two things. So now here, now I swap to my DPS loadout. I get transported. Take out the middle guys quickly, and then focus on the direction Caiatl heads. I like to do that to get a stun. And see, there's a backpacker right there, so she could have stepped on that. So I swap. Now I swap back, which I shouldn't be doing during DPS. I can do that after the whole phase is over. But there's Scions here. So a hand cannon is actually really nice for this part, because those Scions can actually really hurt you. So thank God I had a restoration grenade there. I proc Radiant, and I shot her with Chill Clip, which applies Torch from the artifact as well. So these guys are shooting the crap out of me, which is very scary. There's lots on the field right now. So I throw down a shield, and then I just use Lament to get my health back real quick. That is why Lament is the GOAT for this. And then there, I almost die. Somehow, like, look, I am one shot, and I just get the hell out. It's not worth dying at that point, right? It's better to play your life. But what I screwed up was I should have just kept dealing damage with Lament, because Lament heals you as you deal damage. Or, had my hammer landed, I would have got Cure. But I panicked because my hammer missed, because Caiatl wasn't like facing straight up. She was faced on the side. So then when my hammer missed, you don't get Cure when you pick it up. You have to deal damage to get the Cure. So obviously I was trying to proc Revitalizing Blast and Radiant to deal a bunch of damage on top of like getting that Cure. But had I known I was going to miss my hammer, I should have just kept going to town with Lament to get my health back. What you also can do there is shoot those Scions, but the auto rifle isn't the best for taking them out quickly. So like I said, a hand cannon like Zali's Bane or something would be really, really good for that, because they actually do a lot of damage. So you want solar resist here, and sniper resist wouldn't be the worst thing in the world either. I don't remember what I had on, but I'm sure I at least had solar resist on. So then it's just a matter of getting back to damage. So even with missing practically a full bell of damage, so there I was shooting the backpack, see? And it will blow up. As soon as it starts flaming, it's going to blow up. So yeah, even with missing pretty much a full bell, I'm still half damage, which is crazy. Back when this came out, like if you could 3-phase solo, that was a really good, really good rotation. Where this season we can 2-phase, because you can get so much damage with your Pyrogale, etc., right? You got Revitalizing Blast, that's crazy. It's debuffing the boss on every bell. You got Radiant going, solo operative. So yeah, I highly recommend, if there's any dungeons that you still have to solo flawless, do them this season. I have guides out on how to solo flawless all of them in 2024, specifically in Season of the Wish. So if you need help, check those out. See, there, I'm using my fusion, and the backpacks just kind of disappear. So fusions are goated for this. But I did mention I also have Torch on the artifact, so when you're Radiant, any Enemies affected by Strand or Stasis debuffs will take 5% more damage. So again, it's just a small little thing to get a little more damage. But with Chill Clip, it only lasts like 5 seconds, where with Slice, it lasts like 10. But Slice, you have to cast your class ability. So you can't use it on every bell. Not that I necessarily use it on every bell anyways. So now, we're just going to do some backpack management, just being extra safe. So now we have to shoot the bell. I'm not sure what triggered it last time, but normally, yeah, you have to shoot it like that. Again, I like to be right near the middle. I swap to DPS. So take those guys out in the middle first, and then she's coming mid. So that's not ideal to get mid first. And then I waited till like the last second. So that was also a little bit dangerous. So then I cast that. Because yeah, if she reaches the bell, you're hooped, right? You lose out on DPS. Which really sucks because it's not that quick to get to DPS. So now I know she's going this way. Don't know why I reloaded my fusion there, but I did. Hit the bell, hit that. Reproc Radiant and Revitalizing Blast. Go to town. And then I think we actually kill her on this bell. So we had a whole nother bell. Yeah. So way easier than it was in the past thanks to power creep and just how good the artifact is this season. I hope it was helpful and informative. And if it was, then a like and sub would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, thanks for watching and take care.